Hello again, everyone. I'm not sure why Dark Souls 2 decided to start in a window. No matter, I guess. I'm pretty sure I remembered everything this time. Changed the thingy. I have my thingy open. More thingies. Let's get back to it, shall we? And I'm just now remembering where I was up to. I don't know if this will be pleasant. Let's hope it goes fairly smoothly. Because it might not. I just have to bash these large fellows up a lot. And then do whatever I can on the not large fellows. I didn't need to fight this fellow. And yet here we are. These ones aren't so bad once you get used to them. They're not the problem at all. This one can be a problem. Wonder if I do this, if this will make it easier. Fighting these two things at the same time is always a problem. So if I can remove that element. That will make at least this first one easier. It's that juking attack. That can be trouble. Retaliate fairly quickly after a hit. I just have to do that to the other one. Easy, right? Better do it on flat ground for one. Almost killed me immediately. Okay, clearly I need to actually land that first hit. Easier said than done. Oh, these things are pains in my face. My whole face. They put a spear in it. It's deeply unpleasant. It's just that one guy. And I'm okay with running backwards and putting a bunch of bolts in it if I have to. But it's not a very glamorous solution. I don't even know how you deal with that thing properly. But we'll get to that. Like in Dark Souls 2, more than the other games, I sometimes think there's an item there when there isn't. Because of the way the souls cast light. Sometimes the other one just loses interest oddly quickly. I need another effigy in a second. It works well when it works. One more. Big one's gonna get in the way and cause trouble. Fortunately, they're not very accurate, if nothing else. It's just this one. One causing perpetual pains. God, I got so shit off with this one guy first time I came through here. Turning fire didn't really work, did it? And my spear. It's a real waste of bolts. I haven't got that many. They're expensive early on. But then there's this shit. I have no idea how to deal with this stuff. And by this stuff, I mean that one enemy. Might as well give myself all the advantage I can. Let's just try going for it. Going for it, where? I think these are pretty exploitable in the same way that a lot of these things are. Is it firing? I don't know what it's doing. I did the right thing. I think. Stomps take a lot of time, give you plenty of chance to hit it, and are very easy to dodge. Really not that hard to kill once you get up on it. I guess you do just have to run for it, because otherwise it just keeps shooting fire and being a real pain. No. No. Well, that one I'll agree with. It is pretty in this area. And there's the eponymous Tower of Flame. It does in fact actually have flame in it. I will be curious I will be curious where the boss I'm about to encounter rates against a certain other boss that is currently on my list. It's never too late for serial Irby. You should care, but not in the way you think. Lots of human effigies, that's nice. I mean, they're not wrong. Let's see how this goes. I don't remember your moves and how they differ from the fellow you look quite like. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. We got time. Now the dragon's out of the way at the very least, and that's a weight off my mind. Pretty sure it doesn't respawn. Can't quite see from here. Could just run past everything. Now that the dragon's out of the way, that might be a bit more of a viable tactic. Yeah, it doesn't respawn. Let's just try being fleet. There is now a dead dragon that wasn't dead before, so yeah. It wasn't a boss. It was just a obstacle. Oh god, don't kill me. Let me through. This is a bad scene. I've made mistakes. Please start running. Oh god, I need time to heal. I don't like this at all. I think as a boss, this is probably going to wind up being more balanced than Ornstein. It's not quite the same, even if looks are similar. What are you gonna do? Is it bad for me? The grouping in Dark Souls 1 was Dragon Slayer Ornstein, who looked a lot like this fellow here. Almost exactly the same. His armor was a bit more golden. I'm not actually 100% sure of the relation. It could be the same person. Would not be out of the ordinary for Dark Souls. Trying to keep my life high. I'd really rather not go past that spear guy again. Literally worries me more than this boss. So yes, Dragon Slayer Ornstein, the other one was Executioner Small. Why they're teaming up, I'm not sure, is especially delved into. Really using the spear in much the same way I am. This is quite an even fight, honestly. There we go. A good feeling. Now I never have to go through that bad area again. Or fight that spear bugger again. I don't know if there are other spear ones. Hardly matters. Old Dragon Slayer, that's what we're doing. It is a solid boss. I actually really like that fight. Like, the area leading up to it is just trash, and I'm willing to recognize that within the ratings. But the fight itself, it's really quite good. I want to figure out a way that I can switch focus to my rankings thing and this thing here without having this minimized. I don't know if there's a way to do that. Because when I alt tab, it goes out to here. And I would rather it didn't do that. I haven't really got a good solution for that though. Does anyone know any other keyboard shortcuts that might be able to help me out? While I go ahead and slap the old Dragon Slayer on this list. I mean, that's how I switch this, through the OBS scenes, but I suppose I could do it through a hotkey, but then I'd still need to switch focus over to this ranking list anyway in order to change anything. So I need to change focus regardless. I just need to find a way to do it that doesn't disturb Dark Souls, ideally. Old Dragon Slayer. Yes, 2. It's true, it's true. Alright, so the original Ornstein, at least the fight where you fight Ornstein one-on-one, is sitting here at number 10. I think the old Dragon Slayer fight is better. Also, it's just occurring to me, do the games separate that differently? Old Dragon Slayer, one word, and Dragon Slayer, 2 words. Why am I dying? God's sake. Why are you back? Hang on, I can't pause this in a... The spear bugger came back. Fuck. That's what I get for running through. I'll have to walk back up there, no matter. Doesn't matter, let's do the list thing. I'll worry about that in a minute. Fuck. Okay, I think it's a solid one-on-one fight that's probably better than the Pursuer. I'm immediately considering the top 5, well, or top 6 for Old Dragon Slayer. Frankly, I think it could probably get as high as number 4. Maybe number 3. As far as fights go, I don't think it's as good as Artorias. Artorias is a very good fight. What makes it better than regular Ornstein? I think it's a lot more balanced. Yes, Irby, thank you. I think as a fight, I mean, apart from having to deal with Ornstein and S'more at the same time, which, let's face it, is never pleasant at the best of times. And let's face it, that part of the fight does count in Dragon Slayer Ornstein's, number 10's there. Even apart from that, even when you're fighting Ornstein one-on-one, it's not as... It doesn't feel quite as duel-like, and not just because Ornstein is massive when you're fighting him one-on-one. Because, I don't know, he absorbed S'more's bigness, business, whatever. I don't know how the science works. But yeah, I think it's the Ornstein fight, but skewed towards Artorias, the Artorias fight, and it works out well for it, I think. I mean, really, they don't share that many moves, but they share sort of concepts. Like, they're both using spears. He's got that sort of scoop move, but even that is easier to deal with. It's good. I might go number 3. I might go number 3. They are, and I guess I don't want to make the list too top heavy with those kinds of fights, but yeah, those do often end up feeling like the best fights, because you're not, you know, there's something for the big old monsters as well, but also just fighting someone who's more or less your size, your speed. It feels very much on your level, and maybe very difficult, but something that you can learn and overcome. I don't know. It's a good fight. Let's leave it at that. Yes, it is XL I'm using. It's very professional technology. I wouldn't expect you to understand it. Let's get Dark Souls back up now. I have to fucking climb back up there and get my souls. I have to get my souls back. I can't die on the way, otherwise all those boss souls are just gonna disappear. We'll get to that, Pebs. We'll get to that. I'd like to start upgrading my stuff soon. But then I only equipped this spear, so I had something with some impact damage to deal with these armored buggers. Because it is very helpful against these things. A regular spear doesn't do half the damage. I would like to stop burning through life gems, but they are handy. Sometimes you need Estus for a pinch. Oh, I should probably kill everything on the way, shouldn't I? I don't want anything following me up there and causing the same mess to happen again. Thanks for that. Oh. Not doing well against these things. Bye, souls. Fine, I'll run up there. There's a bonfire up there, I'll just go up there and get that, and then walk back to this one, because this is the one you actually want to come from anyway. My next destination is down the other way, out of that big middle room. How many souls did I lose just now? Quite a lot, I imagine. Spear guy coming up while I'm exposed with rankings. Such a shitbag, it doesn't surprise me. I'm not pleased with you. Stop it. Follow me to the ends of the earth, this bugger. Just keep running. I should probably turn off the Steam stuff, shouldn't I? Not constantly informing me who's playing Jack, as it were. I don't seem to be being followed, so let's grow complacent.
Transient being. This is no place for one such as you. Be gone. You are not needed.
This fellow's... I have briefly considered using a halberd, and if I do, want this fellow's halberd. But I'm not gonna jack him for it just now, as it were. Also, I can't really talk to him until I have a particular item that I don't have. Let's go and spend my souls. Oh well, that was quick. So annoyed. The next boss will not take long to get to. Not long at all. In fact, we could see him from the rise over here. God, these things are shit to dodge. You don't know the half of it. We'll get there. Just stop using my life gems. Estus is relatively infinite. Life gems are not. Stop it. Jesus Christ. These things are chumps. I shouldn't be getting killed by these things. Yeah, they've got a big old slab of rock as a sword, but that's not the point. You can tell when I'm getting frustrated because I start trying to run past everything. It will no doubt come back to bite me. I'm not running past these guys. Calm down. Oh, it's freaking out. I'm gaining a following, aren't I? I don't think you're gonna cause me a problem. Unfortunately, you I'm going to cause a problem with. Because I like stuff, and you're impeding my ability to get stuff. I wonder if I can get you to... Can I convince you to throw yourself off a ledge? No? Sword's not a problem. I don't know why the spear ones are that much more troublesome, but they certainly are. Ending. What's that one? Right, I think that halves how much your max HP goes down while you're not human, which probably gives me more life than that other ring, so let's just use this, shall we? What's my weight at? 39, not bad. I don't remember what the limits are in this game. I'm pretty sure the upper one is 70, unlike 50 in the first game. Don't remember what the bottom threshold is. You got the very fast rolls, then the normalish rolls, then the slower rolls, and then basically not being able to roll. That's like above 100. Once I get out of this area, I'm going to change back on the spear. Oh, this guy's useless. Now that I've said that, now I'm going to die. Come on. Now I'm supposed to die. Maybe I should back up just to see what this bugger does. Honestly, I'm not sure I've seen half of this thing's moves. Yeah, okay. I guess they don't get that interesting. Dragon Rider's a chump. Back to the rankings. I don't think I'm gonna get... Maybe I should go find a bonfire first this time, just in case. I don't think anyone's following me now, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Yeah, Dragon Rider, don't cut it. Dragon Rider is kinda bad. Design, not that interesting. Run to it, pretty unremarkable. Fight itself, whatever. I would say it's better than Gaping Dragon, because Gaping Dragon is garbage. And ridiculously exploitable. There's at least some element of risk fighting this thing. But how high does it go? I think it's around the level of a stray demon. That's sort of not really that risky to fight. It might mess you up if you get into a bad spot, but it's probably worse than the stray demon, frankly. I don't know. Right around Moonlight, right around, actually, Nido I think is pretty comparable. Maybe 22. I'm gonna stick it at number 22. I got that right, didn't I? Yeah. That's around where it belongs. There's the list. Pretty unremarkable addition, that one. We're starting to pepper some more DS2s in this list, and that's good. There are more bosses in DS2 than DS1. Total. So eventually there will be more green on this list than blue. But not yet.
Are you from these parts? My name is Lycia. I have come to spread the art of miracles, a practice of which I am a disciple. I can see that you are well suited to comprehend their wondrous power. But the cost of it,
Am I?
That's for your heart to decide.
Faith do I even have? Not 10. I'm not well suited for shit, thank you. No interest.
I'd heard awful rumors about this place, and I'm afraid they were all true. The king, gone. The earth, ravaged. The burden on the people weighs heavy. I fear that, by now, they may have scarce room in their hearts for miracles. Why did I come here? Well... do I need any other reason than to spread the gospel of miracles? My preceptor always said this art should be shared with the world. And such is my only wish. No need for miracles. The gods frown upon such soul scrimpers.
Shut up. I ain't got no faith. Let's go and spend these souls while I still have the chance this time.
Is that here to see luck? However,
Yes, yes, yes. Upgrade my thingy. Have another? Nope. Oh god. Dexterity, I suppose, for the damage. I'm still not sure where I've landed on the element thing. I did intend to go fire, but I don't think it's high on my list of priorities. Stamina could always go down well. Maybe some more vigor. Early on, these things are a bit more important than Dark Souls 1 because you start with so little. I might give myself a nice life boost. What armor I've got? I haven't touched this since I started. Mostly getting pretty rubbish stuff though. At least this early stuff, half of it came from hollows. The Drangleic mail is good, but also ridiculously heavy. I probably wouldn't go astray if I equipped one piece though. So to speak. I guess that was... What are my rolls like? They seem pretty comparable. Give me a little extra defense. Yeah, gems aren't too much of a problem. Let's go buy some more bolts while I'm here. I think, what's her name showing up yet? At some point that lady who was next to that bonfire near the first boss shows up
I
here.
knew you'd be.
Just not sure exactly when it is.
I'll be around.
Really heavy bolts don't do that much more than wooden bolts, but still could use the advantage. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do about the poison area yet. Having that miracle which you would poison it so quickly was really quite handy for that spot. What that does. or where it is. There it is. Cures poison, restores HP. They're a bit more generous with the consumables, I feel, in this game, in general. I was gonna swap back, wasn't I? Wing spear, I've got a halberd, and I've got my lance. Let's use the halberd for a little while. As long as it's spear-like, I'm not fussy. That's not a halberd. But okay. I guess it's not a halberd. I don't know if you can have a pole axe which has blade on both sides. I think this is the way I have to go. Let's check the other way quickly. It isn't the way I have to go. I don't remember which way I have to go. Yes, thank you. Can you backstab these things? You can backstab these things. It really worked quite well. Ah. I'm glad that I went back this way. Sublime Bone Dust is the item used to make your Estus flasks more potent. The shards let you carry more uses of an Estus, yet the Sublime Bone Dust lets you get more out of them. These textures really don't look that good when you look at them that close up. They're not meant for that at all. The moveset on this thing. About a heavy attack. We'll see about that. Effective. Rusty. I've got any of the statue curing stuff yet? Forget what that's called. Make the statues not statues anymore. Unfortunately, this area is a bit of a doozy. And I'm going to have to use torches quite heavily. I might switch back to my lance for now. Fortunately, I don't mind the one-handed moveset of the lance. Hello, yes. That sweep you only get with one hand, and that's really quite effective. Oh, work. I think that was counter damage that made that do quite as much as it did. Hang on a sec, did what's his name drop an old Leo ring? He did! I should probably use that. Probably ditch that. I think it's a huge HP increase, hardly need it. Use you. I really like the backstab animation with this thing. Pretty much any of the pole arms, really. Just real vicious. Come on. Wish I had force. I had real fun knocking these things off. Wonder if I can. Damn it. Be a sport. Fine. It's not going to let me do that, apparently. There's really quite a long way to go before you get under the bonfire, so you've got to play it cool. Try not to get in over your head. Unfortunately, there's a couple of spots where it doesn't give you a whole lot of choice. More life than I've got. So I do. I literally have not been paying attention to how much time is on my torch because you don't need to. After you've gotten like 2, you've got more than enough to get through the game because you keep finding more. Where did you come from? That was deeply unpleasant what that fellow did just there. Actually, how much is... Okay, I'm over 70% with everything I'm carrying in this heavy weapon. Let's go ahead and take those boots back off. Not likely to find something that splits the difference super well. I think this is the only real way up, isn't it? Ultimately, I need to get on the other side of that bridge and knock that down, but there's no easy way to do that. Must you? With one good counter attack, I can kill them in one hit. the dogs. Fortunately, there's only a handful of dogs in the area. I'll talk to you in a second. I want to get a torch lit up here so I have something to come back to. And the more light you get around here, the better. These torches stay lit once you get them.
What is it? I don't know you, and you don't know me. Things are better that way. You are an odd one. Normally, people keep a safe distance when they see this mask. But you... I'm called Lucatil. From the land of Mira to the far east, across the mountains. They say Drang Lake brims with powerful souls. And so I came to claim my share. But what a strange place. Even the rumors did not prepare me. You are an odd one indeed. I've always made a point of avoiding people, while you've made a point of engaging me. I can see that you are mid-journey. If you require assistance, I will help you. I come from Mira, a land of knights. My sword is always ready. Don't hesitate to call upon me. Whatever happens, I won't be missed. You are an odd one in... Well, I can... Don't...
That is one of the 2 NPCs that I will have to summon regardless in order to do their quest lines. Which I suppose I don't need to do, strictly speaking, but I would like to. Sometimes those messages invite it. God, I'm just trying to remember where I am and where I have to go. There is a little bit squirrely. The dark doesn't help. Got 2 main directions I can go. This way, which is a shit, and this way, which is also a shit. Ultimately, this is the way I'll have to go. I'll try and snipe these buggers first. That was easy. Easier than I was expecting. Dogs? I thought there was something else as well. Alright, let's go back down there. There you are. Where were you hiding? dogs are still a problem. Fortunately, there's enough weight behind this lance that I can pretty much power through most things. And a shield wouldn't be able to hold it back too much. Oh, do I have a Pharaoh Sockstone? I do. Might as well use it. Lights up that big old lantern up there. I don't know if it has any other effects, but honestly the light is welcome enough. I'm just sitting down peacefully and here I am. I feel like there's a lot less mimics in Dark Souls 2. Also different from Dark Souls 1, you can break chests. Not always on purpose. Which makes checking for mimics a less certain affair. Now, I think these things up here don't like light. I don't know if they even attack you if you've got a torch out. They're real ugly buggers, I can tell you that much. Okay, they don't mind attacking you. Glad we've established that. They cause bleeding real quickly too. Problem. Should have looked at how much essence I had. I feel like I'm making good progress though. I had a lot more trouble with this area the first time. And now that I've lit up half the place already, it's only going to be that much easier. Since I don't have to run around with a torch anymore. It's so good for the dogs. Those buggers would stop shooting me with arrows. Missed stuff. Not turn around very quickly with the lance once you've started attacking. While it does good damage, the point of contact is small. Not so great for crowd situations like that one. very strongly. Probably try not to burn through my Estus quite so much. I think that big light in the middle of the area does help keep these things in check. My surprise attack didn't work as I intended. That's a real stupid thing to do, really. I had a plan. It didn't work. Bye now. I might need to temporarily change my weapon for those dogs. The heavy attack is not bad, but it does drain a lot of stamina. Which I can demonstrate as soon as I'm not actively getting murdered. It's like, watch how much that stamina bar goes down. That's all of it, in fact. The one-handed one is only slightly better. Just enough for me to get a swing in as well. It drains stamina for the movement as well as the attack itself. That stuff will definitely have been worth it. I gotta say, it's worked so far. I hit it in mid-jump and it just sort of fell down. Throwing stuff at me. I'm not even 100% sure what they're throwing at me. Oil or something, which would make sense given all the flaming arrows. Only makes you take more damage from them. I do want to clean out that creepy house. Let's get somewhere where I can see. I think from here you have to jump down. It's one way through here. And I'm not ready for one-wayness yet. What are you gonna do about it? Let him move. Jesus. I don't like them doing stuff about it. I just wanted to get a backstab in. That's really hurt, turns out. Oh, we're not done. Oh, we're very much not done. Okay, so it looks like I do have some ability to stagger. Just taking them all on at once is the problem. Oh, don't like that fighting Z-plane. That doesn't look so good. I see you over there. Okay, there is something in here other than death. That message implies this is a trapped chest. It was. Not the trap I was expecting. Yeah, those crossbow ones really hurt. I'm going to employ different tactics and try and get back there. This might seem stupid, but I have a tactic in mind. Didn't work that well. Still not working that well. Let's just go back to the pokes, shall we? One problem is if you miss a backstab, this thing has such a slow attack, it's difficult to maneuver back into position. So don't miss a backstab. Let's see if some other damage type works better. Oh, that's much heavier than a halberd, isn't it? But it does slightly more damage, so I'll sacrifice something for it. Trust any of these buggers now. Okay, Albin might not be the best choice. Just quickly getting out of hand. These things kind of suck. I'm not such a fan of these things. Let's see. Maybe just some quicker stabs will be better for me. And the damage is very helpful. Let's just keep using Let's. I want big sweeps and I can't get big sweeps. Not easily. Also, being able to kill these things in one hit is an ability that I would rather not give up. The dogs are less of a problem than they were in 1. I'll take what I can get. Arrow bugger out of the way. Also, while I'm at it. No. For some reason I thought there was a torch there, but clearly I picked up an item and I've been labouring under the idea that there was a torch there this entire time. Now there is. Longsword? How do you drop a longsword? Stamina to react to these things that I've got. It's just so many of them. That did shit all, didn't it? Imagine regular firebombs are going to do much more. Did a bit more. Not the kind of damage I'm looking for. Get what bleeding does in this game. What did it do? I just want to get that chest. I don't know what's in it. Didn't really plan to get killed by it. Backstabbing is effective, but it seems a little touchy about whether it wants to let you do it or not. What's my plan? Die. That was well worth it. That's it, I like silver talismans, so don't complain too much. That went poor very quickly. Strider, you say this is one of the best areas in the game. I don't enjoy going through it very much. it's one of the cooler designed areas. But everything in this area just kind of sucks. That dog nearly killed me single-handedly. The first thing I got into this area. I'm not worried. That's what I should have done the first time. The smart thing. With the dark monsters, I would have noticed the light. I'm willing to take the time to make this a fair fight. And by fair, I mean in my favor. I don't suppose I have any flame pumpkins, do I? Oh, jeez. That's right, these things. I forgot all about them. Except I'm pretty sure it's just that one. I have no problem interrupting them like this. Those are the petrification thingies. Well, shit. I knew that happened, but You'd think it would happen to me. Thank you message. I can't tell if Pebs is saying that sarcastically. Which possibly betrays my feelings about the frigid outskirts. Really wish you wouldn't.
Who are you? I, Gavlan. Gavlan will, Gavlan deal. Gavlan wants soul. Many, many soul. What you want. With Gavlan, you will, you deal.
He's a fairly one-track fellow. I might get a couple of those. And that.
Many deal.
He hasn't got much interesting to say. Beyond the fact that he wheels and deals. Which you may have already established by that point. I'll never free of these bastards. Fortunately. Shortcut. Long overdue, but shortcut nonetheless. Here's the torch I prepared earlier. Light up some of these ones that I missed. Just for completion's sake. Such that it is. I can't but notice I'm being followed. Also... Never mind. I don't even know if it's worth going in here, but... No, let me pick up the item. I don't want to read that a second time. Running out of ranged ammo. There 3 in here before? That worries me. Maybe I miscounted. Also, it seems like there's nothing in there. Super don't remember where all the illusory walls are in this one, unlike Dark Souls 1. So it's entirely likely that I will miss things. Did I miss the bell? There's a bell. There's a bell around here somewhere.
I see light, but it remains dim. I am Carillion, and I've no interest in the magic impaired. I see light.
I'm not intelligent enough for him. Jack. I don't think you can do this. Yeah, I think I might have to go back up there. Much I can do here. No matter, the way back shouldn't be much more difficult than the way it was before, if not easier. They're all over the place now. What I kept for running through multiple times. This was it. Is there a cutscene? Guess not. Now, I should really go back and get more Estus. But here we are. Hate these things. Giving you sabers. I don't mind too much if I get killed here because I need more life anyway. Okay, right messages there. And even apart from my life situation, I need to be able to summon Ukatil here. I also really need to make a list of which bosses I need to summon people for. Like, explicitly so. Let's just Homeward Bone back, shall we? Save us some time. And before you know it, we'll have boss number 3 today. That was a very quiet death. Don't fall in the water. Take it from me. They're sneaking up on me now. Definitely those fellows following me, isn't there? Easy peasy. You wouldn't follow me, would you? Where do you summon Lucatiel? I know you can. But where is her sign? Out on the dock? I thought it was right on. I don't think it's in there, but it could be. Am I forgetting something simple? Maybe I need to take a quick peek at the wiki, where it is. Unless there's some requirement I have not fulfilled. Just behind the shortcut. It's a lot further away than I thought. Still, you don't need to summon people for bosses. It would probably help you get through the area as well. There it is. You're making this very fun. I can't go gesturing when I'm getting shot. But I'm not actively getting murdered. This fight shouldn't take too long, I shouldn't think. Albert would probably be better, but he'll be fine. Actually, fortunately, Luke is in this fight a real tank. Look at her, just taking those slashes and barely even flinching. Thank you, Luke. I didn't need your help, but for some reason I need to summon you to do the things. Stick together. I mean, you're not wrong. Oh, it freaked out slightly. No matter. Flexile Sentry was the name of that one. Might as well just do it once I've moved everything. The question is, where does Flexile Sentry go? It's not a terrible fight. Having Luke summoned didn't really show it off that well, but it only ever attacks you with one side at once. So really it ends up just being sort of a big normal enemy. All of its attacks are pretty well telegraphed, and you can get out of the way fairly well. And because only one side attacks at once, if you've got one side attacking and you manage to get around to its other side, you can just beat the shit out of it. It's not that interesting of an enemy. Design is meh as well. Not really interesting in any particular way. Basically, as Perp says, you guys tape together. I have no idea where on this list to put it though. It's a solid middle. It's not as easy as Dragon Rider, but I don't know. Maybe somewhere around Seath, maybe? Maybe number 16? That seems about right to me. It's not that hard even if you don't have a living punching bag. Distracting. It's also one of the few enemies that we have not seen the last of. So we will get another chance to see it in closer detail. There's only 2 NPCs that we need to do it for, but we need to do it for 3 times each. Summoning them, I mean. So there'll be 6 bosses where I'm obligated to get help from NPCs, whether I need it or not. I believe it is, and this won't mean a whole lot to anyone who doesn't already know the bosses, but that one. One in the next area, sort of. I suppose it's the area after the next area, but one of the 4 bosses that basically make up the first half of the game. And then there's... because it's Flexile Sentry, Lost Sinner, or Last Sinner, or whatever the hell they're called. Rotten, and then the other fellow has that one boss that barely is a boss. We'll get to that. Looking Glass Knight and someone else. I don't remember who the third one is. I'm pretty sure it's not for a while. If I'm particularly quick about getting through the area, we might get a 4th boss. Depends how I approach the area. The area we're about to end up in, we've been to before. Briefly. The messages are quite something, as one of them will no doubt say at some point. Chess? That's not chess. No point in bothering these fellows. It's such a stupid gesture, and thus I used it all the time. Oh, for... stepped on the button again. Oh well, back to gesturing. Oops. Not what I intended. Let's step on the button the proper way anyway. I saw that hole with that item in it. How do you get that? I don't remember that. Let's not step on the button again. You got the point across. You'll recall this area is where we got dragged by that bird on the last stream. And I may go back to that bonfire that was over there yet. I think who's around here and what direction I need to go. I guess we'll go from here for now. Though frankly, Oh, I should spend my souls. I'll be back. Frankly, this next section can be tricky. Not most of it, but there's one or two elements that have given me trouble in the past.
Less.
Now then, I would like a little more life. I'll sit at a 10, that's a good number for those. I could upgrade my equip load a bit. Consider it. Adaptability is an interesting stat in this one because it controls a couple of things. Poise, which basically means how much you can get beaten up before you get staggered, which my poise doesn't seem to be doing so great, particularly with this armor. A couple of different resistances, but also agility, which I think controls how much invincibility you get when you roll. I might up my vitality a bit. Get some support stats until I know precisely which direction I want to take my offensive stats.
I'll be around if you make it back.
Wooden bolts, just so I've got some ranged attacks. I remember being quite amused when myself, Strider, and Pabs were doing that Flexile Sentry fight, because it was right around that point where we both had Heavenly Thunder, so we were just constantly spamming miracles that were making lightning bolts rain down, and it's just constantly, the entire time the fight was going down, it's just thunder going off. It's good fun. Oh, stop it. No, I don't think it was doing a whole lot, but it was fun to do. Now then, I could go through this way, but also this area can be tricky just because of everything that's in it, and the extent of which will become apparent soon. For a start, crossbow bolts and dogs. That's not even all. Would very much like to do something about you. Didn't equip my wood bolts. Eventually it'll break, but it would be easier and quicker to do it by hand, as it were. Anyway, now that the area is mostly clear, where are they? Oh. Did they not show up here yet? What's that through there? Something of great interest. kinda sick of barely missing. I think I needed that. I doubt it. I think you need the barrel. You can break through this bit of wall here. But I think you need one of those explosive barrels to do it, and that one up here, that fellow rolls down there, is about the only one good for the job. I could continue along this way, but I think I'd be better off served going the other way. Fortunately, I'm running out of time quite quickly. Stream's got to end some point, and it's supposed to end in less than 2 minutes. So, I don't know. Let's make a start. Oh. These things suck. Easy to kill. Quite painful. Exploding buggers. Locked. Okay, apparently you have to go through this area in a different order than I thought. I don't actually remember what is that way. I'm pretty sure I'll have to go there sooner or later. Oh, I don't want to be in this area. That thing has a tendency to hit the barrels and make everything explode quite violently. I'm surprised I haven't been invaded yet. That was the door that opened when I came here first time. Because you can't get on that side otherwise. What's the antiquated key for? Must be one of those doors I saw before.
I thought that might be you. You haven't changed a bit, have you? The longer I am here, the more madness I discover. A wretched place indeed, but not without traces of its former glory. What could have caused such degradation? Ah, yes. I have not thanked you for humoring me the other day. This is for you. Of course, I have no idea what it is. Our land of Mirror is surrounded by enemies and constantly at war. There is only one way up in Mirror. Join the Order and prove yourself in battle. My family had little fortune and no name. I had to carve out a piece of the world for myself, with two things: my sword and my loyalty to my lord. I was raised to wield a sword from birth. Life was hard, but I never gave it a second thought. I had swift success on the battlefield and quickly attained respectable stature. And then I came here to... Have you heard of the undead? These poor souls affected by the curse. An undead gradually loses his humanity until his wits degrade completely. Finally, he turns hollow and preys upon others. And a hollow can never be human again. One can skirt this wicked fate only with the help of the souls found here. Assuming, of course, that the legends are true. I can only hope that they are. I'm sorry to burden you with talk of my fate.
It's got more lines than there are in Dark Souls 1, full stop.
I'm sorry, I suppose.
I guess I'll leave it there, shall I? Just taking inventory of the directions I can go when I come back. Assuming that the antiquated key opens that wooden door that I was at before, I can go down that way. I can go through the building over here, which I don't think is a long path. Maybe I should do that. I don't think this actually goes anywhere, so let's just go and do this. There's this way, and then there's the other way where those two fellows were standing before, which I walked past, if you noticed that. Let me just put one of these. Explosive barrels do make quick work of all the dogs. That was unnecessary, but it's fun. Ow. It was our first reunion. Is doing decent damage. Oh, that's not Estus. You don't want to get hit by the blue sword. Sewer always gets me right at the end. Okay, I'll leave it there. Good a place as any. And yeah, all the pursuers are tough. The boss is just the tip of the iceberg. The boss isn't as hard as the enemies that you bump into later. Anyway, that's it for moi. And I will catch everyone next week. Same time. I probably won't do an extra Sunday one this time. Or maybe I will. I don't know. Depends how I'm feeling. Bye. Since the stream stops freaking out.